So are you also enrolling users to your courses manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to enroll Thinkific user on Tally forms submission. So over here I'm running a edutech company and we offer free courses to all our potential clients to increase our clientele base, and we use Tally form to gather the details of our potential clients who are interested in registering for the free course. So now what I want is that as soon as someone registers for a free course with the help of Tally forms, automatically they should be enrolled into my free course on my Thinkific account. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Tally and Thinkific. So we are going to do this without knowing any programming or coding language with the help of a simple and amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. And if you also want to create this automation for your business, then for that you have to follow me through the screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video I'll show you how to integrate Tally forms with Thinkific. So with this automation, every time a user submits a form in Tally, they will be automatically enrolled in a Thinkific course, saving you time and ensuring a smooth onboarding process. So let's get started with a really simple example. Let's say that my name is test user and I'm just going to register for a course, alright? So as you can see that I've entered all of my details and now I'm just going to click on this submit. And yes, you can see your registration is completed. So now I'm just going to open my Thinkific account, and over here we are going to refresh this all users page. And as soon as we're going to refresh this all users page, yes, you can see a new user has been added. You can see the same name and the same email which we entered. Also you can see that this user has been enrolled into my course, which is PHP course. So yes, you can see that in real time and within few seconds this user got enrolled into our course. So this is the automation we are going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this automation for your business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of hours free every month to explore the application. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we are going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm just going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to enroll Thinkific user on Tally forms submission. Tally forms to Thinkific, and then we just have to click on this create. And as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow will run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. So that's the reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. So let's start with our automation. For that we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm just going to select it as Tally forms. So I'm just going to search for Tally and then we are just going to select it. And now it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So here what I want is that as soon as a new response is received, my workflow should be triggered or started. So I'm just going to select my trigger event as new response. and now it is giving me a webbook URL. So we are going to use this same webbook URL in order to create a connection between a Tally account and a Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what we have to do is, first I'm just going to copy this webbook URL, and then we have to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your Tally account, publish your form and go to the integrations and then webbooks. Click connect to add the webbook URL. Copy the above webbook URL and paste it under the callback URL field. Alright, we are going to follow the same. I'm just going to open my Tally account, and over here you can see all the forms which I've already created. But I want to create this automation for this form, which is course registration form. So I'm just going to open this form. For that we have to go towards the edit of this form. Alright, so I'm just going to go towards this edit of this form. And after coming over here towards the edit of this form, we have to go towards the integration tab. So as you can see that this is the integration tab. So I'm just going to go towards this integration tab, and over here you can see all the integrations. So we have to look for webbooks over here. So as you can see webbooks right over here. So we have to click on this connect button given right under this webbooks. Alright, and now it is asking me to add the endpoint URL. So I'm just going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow, and then we just have to click on this connect. And yes, you can see that we have successfully added our webbook URL right over here. So yes, with this we have successfully created a connection between a Tally account and a Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webbook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webbook response, we have to do a test submission or record. Alright, so what we have to do is, I'm just going to open the form I connected right now with my workflow, and we have to go towards the share of this form. Over here you can see the shareable link. So I'm just going to copy this link, and we are going to open this link in a new tab in order to do the test submission. Alright, I'm just going to fill in these details. Let's say that for the first name I'm just going to keep it as dummy, last name as user. You can see for the email I'm going to keep it as dummy22@pabblytuts.com. over here you can see the phone number. Alright, we're going to move on forward. For the city I'm just going to keep it as Indore, and then we just have to click on this submit, and yes, you can see your registration is completed. So now what has happened is that Tally has sent the details of a test submission to our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see the same first name which we entered, you can see the last name, the email, the phone number, and the city which we entered in our test submission has been captured as the webbook response over here. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new response is received from my Tally account, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered, and Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. Alright, further what I want is, I want to enroll Thinkific user on Tally form submission. But to enroll a Thinkific user, we first have to create a Thinkific user, correct? So for my action application, I'm just going to select it as Thinkific right over here. Alright, so I'm just going to search for Thinkific, and then we just have to select this Thinkific. And now it is asking me for the action event. So for my action event, I'm just going to select it as create user, because I want to enroll the user into the course, and for that we first have to create a user. So now after selecting this action event, we just have to click on this connect, and now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Thinkific account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Thinkific, and now it is asking me for the subdomain. And to get this subdomain, we have to follow this help text, and it is saying subdomain can be found at this URL. If your account URL is this, then your subdomain is this. So it is saying that my subdomain will be in my account URL, which is before.thinkific.com and after https // alright. So for that I'm just going to open my Thinkific account, and as you can see that this is the URL. So you can notice that before.thinkific.com and after https / is this. So this is my subdomain. Alright, so I'm just going to copy my subdomain right from here, and then we're going to paste this subdomain right over here in my Pabbly Connect's workflow. So as you can see that I've successfully pasted this. You also have to get your subdomain from your account URL, which would be, again I'm mentioning, before.thinkific.com and after https// alright. So now after pasting the subdomain, we just have to click on this save, and as soon as we are going to click on this save, yes, you can see authorization successful. With this, we have successfully connected our Thinkific account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow, and now it is asking me for the details like first name, last name and email. So yes, we are going to enter these details right over here one by one, but we are not going to enter the details manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected tally as our trigger application, and we're going to map the details from the response received of our trigger application only over here in this case. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So over here I'm going to give you an example that it is asking me for the first name, right? So let's say that I'm just going to enter the first name right over here manually by typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I have entered it manually. But let's say that we're going to map this from the previous response. So I'm just going to look for first name in the previous response right over here and we're going to map it. Then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And as we map the first name, we are going to map the last name too. So I'm just going to look for last name, and as you can see, user, so we're going to map it. Same we are going to do with the email address too. I'm just going to look for email and then we are going to map it. And now after mapping these details, it is asking me for the password. So over here I'm going to leave it upon to the user to set the password. We are going to move on forward. For the role, I'm just going to leave it as blank. So now you can see that it is asking me for many another details. So I'm just going to leave all of these details blank because these are not the required details. If you wish, you can definitely enter these details too. I'm just going to move on forward. It is saying send welcome email. I want to keep it as true, so I'm just going to keep it as true, and then we just have to click on this save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have successfully received a positive response, that we have successfully created a new user in our Thinkific account with these same details. So I'm just going to open my Thinkific account and we're going to go towards all users section in order to check for the new user created. So from the left side of the bar, I'm just going to go towards this all users section, and over here you can see a new user has been created. But you may notice that this user is not enrolled in any of the courses till now. I'm just going to show you right over here that this user is not enrolled in any of the courses. So what I want is, I want to enroll this dummy user in my course, right? So for that, I'm just going to add another action step 2 right over here to enroll this user into a particular course. Once again, I'm just going to select it as Thinkific only right over here, and now for the action event we have to select it as enroll user. So as you can see the same, I'm just going to select this and click on connect, and once again it is asking me for the same. So I've recently connected my Thinkific account, right? So I'm just going to click on this select existing connection and then save, and yes, over here you can see that we have successfully connected. So now it is asking me for the course. In which course do I want to enroll this users? So over here I'm offering a free course which is PHP course, so I'm just going to select the same only right over here. And now it is asking me for the user ID. So it is asking me that which user I want to enroll in this course. So over here it is asking me to select one user right from here, but I want to keep this field as dynamic, alright? So I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and map the user ID right over here so that this field can turn dynamic. So I'm just going to open the response of my previous step, which was Thinkific create user, and over here you can see the user ID. So I'm just going to map this user ID right over here, and as soon as we're going to map this user ID, now this field has turned dynamic. So now after entering these details, we're going to move on forward. It is saying activated date and expiry date. So now we don't have to enter this, so I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, and yes, you can see that we have received a positive response, that we have successfully enrolled this user into our PHP course. So I'm just going to open my Thinkific account and we're going to refresh this in order to check that if dummy user has been enrolled in the course or not. So yes, you can see the dummy user has been enrolled into the PHP course, enrolled in free preview. So yes, you can see that we have successfully enrolled this dummy user into our course. And yes, now not only dummy user, I have mapped the user ID. So every time a new response is received from my tally, the new user would be created in my Thinkific account, and that same user would be enrolled into this free course on my Thinkific account. That too without any manual efforts. This workflow is going to run in backend, and we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow and this video too. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.